Dutchman versus
Iron Fist.
It's shit! Credits!
What the hell was that?
Okay, I haven't mentioned any of the Marvel Netflix series so far. Here's a quick recap. Daredevil Season 1, very good. Daredevil Season 2, I like the Punisher bits better than the Hand Ninja bits, but on the whole it was good. Luke Cage, I liked it until the villain switch. Jessica Jones, I think it should have been a little bit shorter, because at one point they were like, we have him, we don't have him, we have him, we don't have him, and it was like magical chairs. But on the whole, good series. But Iron Fist, look me in the eyes. Iron Fist is just plain bad. I don't like it. It's shoddily edited. It has a shit story. And so much wasted potential. And most of all, a very non-interesting lead. So I did a video about the casting of Finn Jones' Iron Fist and the rumblings around it, you know, in regards to whitewashing and cultural appropriation, and none of that has anything to do with what I think of this show. So if I said like, oh, it really doesn't hurt to change what was there. Got sick there. So if I say that maybe the casting would have been better if he'd been like half Asian, you know, to emphasize the fact that he's like somebody from two worlds. He's a white bloke. It doesn't matter if he's a good white bloke. He's a white bloke. If he's a good actor, it should have no effect on the series whatsoever, technically speaking. Finn Jones is by far the least interesting out of all the actors I've seen in the Marvel Netflix series so far. The leads. Fuck, even the supporting characters. We're made to believe this Iron Fist has been gone for 15 years. And the trouble is that because it was the early 2000s then, our lives don't feel like they've drastically changed. Yeah, we got Netflix, yeah, we got Shazam and Twitter. Those things weren't around when Iron Fist disappeared, but it's not monumental. It's not, if you look at life back then, you maybe go like, alright, I forgot that band was a thing. Like, who the fuck listens to Nickelback nowadays? So we have Iron Fist, who's been gone for XT years. And he comes back to New York. Why? No real reason. No real reason. Okay, so he wants back into his dad's company. And this is where we start running into the fucking issues with the show. What's the story? There is no story. He tries to get back into his dad's company, so you get the Meacham brother and sister, and they're set up as antagonists at first, so like they don't want this stranger up the streets who they don't know is that may or may not be Danny Rand. So you're like, are these the bad guys? And then Faramir from Lord of the Rings shows up and you're like, aha, he's the bad guy. But middle way through the season, they do a switch. I'm like, fine, so we're back at this. The villain switch in this series, it had me going like, fine, okay. I was expecting the Hand. I got the Hand because it's Iron Fist. So what else does he have to fight aside from other evil martial artists? But then they don't do anything with that. So it's like the entire middle of the season where they say fuck it to the evil company plot and do nothing with martial artists. Well, they chase them down, they're like, get after them, but that's it. There's they don't show what they want to do, the villains. It's not set up if it's not setting up anything. And then towards the end of the series, we're back at the evil company. Big bad guy has no real plan. So in the meantime, it's just Iron Fist in a series of unfortunate events. Okay, so this Iron Fist, who's been away for so many years, wants his dad company back. He's the wielder of the legendary Iron Fist. So what do we get? I think it gets used about 3 times in the series, maybe 4. You've got the titular thing of the thing, and you don't use the thing. It's like if they made the movie Excalibur, except they only used Excalibur in one sword fight. Deliver us the thing that you name your thing after. And we get nothing. We get nothing out of this. Danny doesn't wear his costume. Danny just wears weird street clothes and a hoodie at one point. It's like he's from a mystical monasteries, and he couldn't they at least, you know, say like, oh, these are the robes they wear over there, you know? Pretend. Still, talking about Iron Fist. Finn Jones, as Iron Fist, has to convey to us a character who's apparently got anger management issues. The way they try to show this to us is by weird shaky cam and blurry lines, and in the meantime I'm hearing in the back of my head, seriously, you have a grown man in Finn Jones who can't make anger issues appear anything else aside from a kid throwing a tantrum. And I've seen people use the defense, yes, well, he's been away for so long. Yes, well, he was living in a magical monastery where he was trained, so don't tell me he was still a man-child in that magical monastery. Look at the Meacham brother and sister. Walt Meacham at first is a grade A douchebag, and they actually make him appear to be borderline psychotic. Not fully psychotic, like he would stab a dude in the parking lot just because he could, but you know, I thought he was going to end up being the serious villain. But then they squander that. And they have the sister, I forgot first name, was it Jodie? She gets set up as the rational one. Of course, towards the end, she's a villain. Yes, that makes sense. Danny lied to her, apparently. Then we have Madame Gao from the Daredevil series. I was very stoked to know that she was back. And then they squander that. They take her character and they reduce her to nothing. She's not the big evil genius she appeared to be, who was so clever and powerful in, influence-wise. Kingpin didn't mean anything to her. She just walked off. And here, she's just the Hand. I'm like, that's really disempowering what she was. It's reduced her. This curious, mysterious person to just another Hand commander. Speaking about the Hand featured prominently starting about episode 5 inwards. And the evil plot of the Hand is to distribute heroin and to collect street thugs and make them part of the Hand Ninja Army. So basically, they're the Foot Clan from the original 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. Yeah, no, this is legit. They are legit the Foot Clan. They take people from the street, they teach them martial arts, and then they make them part of their army. Anyway, Colleen Wing stars in this series, and she's probably the best thing about it, until she turns into Iron Fist's love interest, by which point she stops being the best thing about it, and her character gets reduced to being just Iron Fist's love interest, and not as badass as she was before. Seriously, she has her own dojo, she gets into cage matches, she beats up dudes built like professional wrestlers 2 at a fucking time! It's completely hard as nails, and then she falls for Danny Rand, and then they have this very awkward sex scene, and of which I think Hot Shots actually parodied better than they did. Yeah, I'm implying the sex scene is just bad. So yeah, Colleen Wing, badass, beats up people for a living, and the moment she falls in love with Iron Fist, she turns out to be an evil ninja, and she gets reduced to a Cartoon Network level of love interest, like, you know, in The Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. You know how all these romance bits, which are obviously not geared towards the comic book fans, but they're like, sometimes you're like, they're a bit cringy, aren't they? They're a bit shit. Like how many times can we have Barry Allen go like, I love you, Irish West, before we go like, okay, fine, do something about it. And here, an evil organization of a death cult of ninjas is being treated as a relationship obstacle between fucking Iron Fist and Colleen Wing. It's like, the hand of my evil arch enemy of the Kunlun. No, you just don't understand. The hand ninjas have good ninjas as well. So yeah, then her mentor turns out to be evil and he's shit because he's not impressive or interesting or whatsoever. But Madame Gao was, but Madame Gao is a prisoner at this point, so yeah, whatever. Then we have Davos, and Davos is the Steel Serpent in the comics. And he shows up and he's like, have you seen Doctor Strange? He's like Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange. No, he's exactly like Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange. He has the exact same character arc even. All of this is very bad, and people saying like, oh, but it gets better after episode 6. And I am here to tell you, it's not worth watching a series with about 5 hours of your life to see something get better 6 hours in. Don't watch the series if somebody says, oh, it gets better at episode 5. Episode 6 is the martial arts episode where Iron Fist finally starts to doing Iron Fisty things. That sounds like a porn flick. I was like, okay, cool. If this is the road the series is taking, I'm on board now. It has to be a little bit more fantastical. But then they don't, and they go back to thugs. Then in episode 8, we get a couple of interesting fights. Louis Tan shows up as Zhao Cheng. And he's basically the drunk master as done by Jackie Chan. This is a great fight, and Zhao Cheng is shit-talking, and Louis Tan is originally from Manchester. So he's putting on this fake Chinese accent, but in the meantime you can hear like him asking for a Newcastle Brown Ale. And the worst thing is, he's in his fucking one little scene where he's being a violent drunk. He's got so much charm coming dripping out of his arse. You're like, why didn't they cast this guy as Iron Fist? And guess what? He was in the fucking running for Iron Fist until they went with Finn Jones. The show is bad. It's just bad. But, you know, all of that could have been saved if there were actual, you know, fight scenes. There are no actual fight scenes in this series done by Finn Jones. Like I said, Colleen Wing, she gets a couple of good ones where she's beating up big guys. But Finn Jones, the editing is more fast paced than that. Like Liam Neeson jumping a fence. That's the editing in Iron Fist. Basically, premise is shit, editing is shit, casting is shit, side characters are wasted, and we're left with a climax that has no stakes. Don't watch this series, just, you know, save 13 hours of your life. Let Netflix know by not watching something till it's finished that you don't have to watch everything you start. I did, I regret it. I regret starting Iron Fist. I don't want to see Finn Jones anymore. I don't want to see Iron Fist anymore. I hope that the Defenders will, you know, be handled by someone else than whoever the fuck did this. Because if you look at Iron Fist and Daredevil, well, Charlie Cox or whoever his stuntman was, may not have been the best fighter in the world. At least they had some excellent choreography, you know, settings like the one hallway fight and, you know, and the fight with the one guy who eventually impaled himself in the parking lot, and the brutal fight against, you know, the hand ninja. Fuck, none of that. Season 2 when he's taking on the bikie gang. None of that is here. I can instantly name several more iconic scenes in Jessica Jones and in fucking Luke Cage than I can here. The Iron Fist gets used, like I said, 3, maybe 4 times. The first time it punches a door off. The second time it gets used as a healing potion. And the third time it punches it in a window. Okay, congratulations, Marvel Netflix. You've wasted it. 13 hours and I've got no more interest. Fuck you. I have a bunch of social medias. I usually post a lot of shit on there. Got a Facebook, a Twitter and a Tumblr and a MySpace page. You should definitely check out the MySpace page. Don't bother checking out any of the other social media things. If you'd like to hear me trash talk other things, I usually tend to upload something every 2 weeks. No, I'm joking. I hardly keep a schedule and I praise most things I watch. I'm one of those people that likes things. A connoisseur.
I thought the Iron Fist was a great warrior. You fight like a child throwing a tantrum.
By the way, that tattoo, it looks like it's been drawn on with a fucking magic marker.
You think you're better than me? In a certain regard, you are. Your haircut, for example.
Upload complete. Preparing for next data.